Hey guys, today we're going to be going over my early game mods, but first, let's play with some chance cubes. Ooh, a heart! What is this one going to do? Aha! That was scary. But seriously, that scared me when it first happened. So down to business. One of my favourite mods to use is Tinker's Construct. Tinker's Tools, all of them together. So one of the first things I'll have to do to get into that is go out, make some grout. For grout, you'll need clay, sand, and gravel. So we'll see here, I'll be going out hunting some clay first, and later on going back and searching for gravel and sand. So clay is pretty easy to find, just find areas with water, same with sand and gravel. So you just run around with your lakes and ponds you can find, dig them up. While out searching for the grout, I ran across this weird structure here, and I think it's from Thorncraft, based off of what I found inside. It looks like sort of like a dungeon, but it's got like a few. Well, it's got 2 monster spawners and a few Thorncraft crates in there. It's like a crate, chest, and vase or something. So based off of that, I think it's Thorncraft. Pretty cool find. I found another one again later, and well, I love spawners. And here we got a zombie one and a skeleton. Skeleton's good. Now we've got a supply of bones we can come back to at any time. And the zombie one, not too useful, but if we get wolves later on, rotten flesh is a great source of food. And zombies can drop all sorts of nice things like iron ingots. So back to Tinker's Construct. Our search for grout has continued. Well, not grout, the materials to make grout. And here we can see gravel spawned in rivers, just like sand and clay do. And, well, I find gravel one of the hardest resources to manage to stockpile that. You need it for like flint, for all your arrows, and it's useful for things like making things like grout as well. It doesn't have many uses. It is nice to have some. I think you can crush it with sand or something as well. Not too sure. Some of the mods do some fun things with it. But yes, gravel. The hardly used resource that, well, it's just painful to stockpile. I've got to remember to set up a slime farm sometime too. I made a method to like dig out an area underground, like a specific shape that covers a small, well, most of 4 different chunks. I make several of those until I like find a slime chunk. I'll show you that in a different episode, my exact method. I don't know if it's the most efficient, but it works well. Finding slime chunks is pretty fun. And the final ingredient for grout, sand. Such beautiful sand. Oh, how I missed you, sand. No, I need sand for a few things. I wanted some glass as well, so I'll collect some extra from you. Also, this area here is a dark oak forest. I'm going to leave a marker here to come back, because I love dark oak wood. My original plan was to make my house out of birch wood. I'm probably still going to use a lot of birch wood, but now I've actually found some dark oak. Well, I can use dark oak as well. The only problem with dark oak is you don't tend to get as many saplings back from the trees, so it's a bit hard to keep a positive reproduction with dark oak. Now we can't forget the best mod of all, Packet Mod. The ultimate unicorn mod. I think it's actually called Wings, Horns, Hooves, and the ultimate unicorn mod, or something like that. Very long, confusing name. But well, who doesn't like unicorns? And it's not just unicorns. There's the Pegasus, the hippocamp. I've never even heard of that one in fairy tales. Maybe the author just made it up. And then there's the Destria as well, also heard of to me. And of course, another unheard of creature, but one that is definitely cool, the Nightmare. Hopefully, once I get some sort of fire protection, I want to have Nightmares as my main horse as well. They can fly, and then Betrayal of Fire. What can be cooler? But for now, I'm settling with unicorns, because I seem to see quite a few unicorns with saddles on them. They must have a higher spawn rate than most of the other mobs. Like, I think every Nightmare I've seen has a saddle, although I've only seen 3. But, so they seem to spawn randomly. I haven't seen them spawn in a pack yet. They seem to come in areas after we've settled. The unicorns spawn all over the place, and quite a few of them have saddles. The Pegasus are pretty cool too, but they seem to have a really low spawn rate with saddles. I've seen a few packs, but I've only seen like 2 saddles so far. I think I'll find a third one later in this video. So cool, because Pegasus is the best. Except for the nightmare. But Pegasus is good while we're waiting for the nightmare. You know, you gotta step up, you gotta grow. You gotta work towards your goals. Don't find just to skip straight to the silver plate. Well, I finally decided to make a pen for my unicorns, because we've lost a Pegasus, and we've lost a unicorn as well, because they just seem to wander off. Like, I've dropped them up with the leads and everything, the leads just keep breaking. I think that might have something to do with servers. I don't think horses can actually break them. I think it's, because they're an entity, when you leave the server they can have a chance to despawn. You're not staying near them, so until we figure out if there's any chunk loaders in the pack, and then furthermore get the ability to make them, we'll have to keep them locked up in areas like this. Oh well, I think the pen's very pretty, and I think you're going to be happy. I'll have to make another one later on for more horses I find with saddle. The Destria down there, don't want to lose him, but he seems pretty content with where he's sitting. Oh, and by the way, that there was just the recipe for grout, with the clay in the middle, sand and gravel, star and square shape pattern on the outside, I believe. To use grout for the mod, you do have to smelt it into like little bricks, which you then craft into stone blocks-ish, like a stone brick slab, stone brick block sort of thing. And you can also make like seared stone, seared cobblestone, and other things like that later on, once you get more into the mod pack. But for now, seared bricks will have to do. Just to give you a quick look at what a finished Tinkered setup would look like, I'm going to show you my Tinker's setup from the Infinity Feed the Beast pack. So this room here has got our different crafting tables from the mod pack. You can like link chests to most of them, so they can access inventory from chests sitting beside them. So your different crafting tables there are used to make different things. And here is your smeltery, which is made from the seared bricks, which are made from smelting grout into a seared brick. Craft 4 of them together into seared bricks, just like a nether bricks. Yeah, so these are like little faucets with drains behind them that then go down into casting tables. You can make casts from gold and stuff. I'll go into how to use Tinker's construct in detail in another episode. For now, we're just taking a quick glance at the setup. I'm supplying lava here from a tesseract, which is pulling lava from a pump in another dimension, which I wrote up using a dimension mod. Can't remember the name of it, but it's my favorite mod. I'm sure I'll remember the name one day. Don't worry, guys. To wrap up Tinker's construct for this episode, I'm just going to quickly explain a little bit about the tools. Different materials have different properties when you craft the tools, and like you can put multiple different materials together to make a tool. Like each tool has so many parts. You can make each part out of a different material. Furthermore, you can modify the tool after it's been made to have extra properties from whatever material you modify it with, and all sorts of cool things like that. So these iron tools have got like a magnetic trait. So as I'm destroying blocks, the blocks will flow towards my tool, and obviously look them up when you get close enough to you. Also with Tinker's construct, you can hover over the tool with shift or control, and it will tell you like what materials and modifiers it has and how much durability is left on the tool, which is useful for repairing the tools and other things like that. Now that some of the cooler mods we're using, well, not really cool, just more immersive, are the farming mods, of course. So the 2 main ones we have here active in our farm are more food and random things. So more food adds like lettuce and tomato and a few other things, and you can craft stuff like bread slices, sandwiches, other various cheese. You can make cheese from like milk. Sandwiches are made from your normal, well, your bread slices are made from your normal bread, your basic vanilla bread, I believe. And you can turn that to slices. You can then turn that to toast, or you can craft it together with different ingredients to make particular sandwiches. and you know, all that other fun stuff. So here's some of the recipes from More Foods. Just, you know, pretty much everything I mentioned. There isn't too much, just a couple of things. I think the only food from random things that we have, currently in our farm, and I think that we might add even, is the bean sprouts, which we are then using to make bean stew. Reduce sauce, just as much hunger as pork chops do, cooked pork chops. That's pretty useful. Very easy to farm as well. You only need 3 beans, which, you know, the bean sprouts grow like crazy. They're like weeds. And you need 1 wheat as well as a bowl. They're very cheap recipe, very, very good for food as well. I'm absolutely loving bean stew, guys. It's top. I mean, 5 out of 5 stars here. Want to open a restaurant in Minecraft? Sell bean stew. So there's not too many early game mods left to cover. There's just a little bit more from the Unicorns mod and Botania as well. So here we can see I'm out collecting flowers from Botania. There's something like 16 different flowers that grow in the wild. Like dismantle it, craft them into petals, which you can then plant and grow, stuff like that. Botania is a pretty cool mod. It's classified as a tech mod, where, well, I guess your tech is mana, powered by mana, so magic more so than electricity. But other than that, it's very tech-like. A very complicated tech tree, very large, immersive, very immersive, guys. Very good mod. Very fun, of course, because it's such a large mod. So I'll skip ahead a bit here and show you my new horsey. And here we go, my brand new pet Pegasus. Oh, how I missed you, Pegasus. The last one sadly faded away, but you are beautiful. Now, I do have to admit, flying the Pegasus is somewhat hard while the server is rendering the terrain as you get their massive TPS drop. I think the server was only doing something like 7 TPS when I first started trying to fly it around here. But after a little bit, it does get a lot easier. Now, we can see here, I didn't intend to land. It's kind of crashed. But, oh, who cares? Who cares? But yes. So, riding around on horseback, on a Pegasus, we're able to collect our plants from Botania a lot faster. The Pegasus is such an awesome creature, guys. I'm just gonna collect these flowers like it's nothing. Look at us just doing circles around these mobs. We're not even flying yet. Oh, another thing I should note about this Ultimate Unicorn mod is the horses seem to regenerate health very fast. I assume it's because they're mythical beasts. I don't think the vanilla horses regenerate health fast at all. Maybe even not at all. I think you might have to feed them. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But, well, they regenerate health fast, so that's nice. Very nice indeed. But yes, the Pegasus is truly the ultimate utensil. Just look at us flying over rivers. Just marching across terrain with much haste. Much haste indeed. Collecting these flowers. It's like it's another day in history. So fast, like it's we've already collected them. To finish up the Ultimate Unicorn mod, I'll give you some footage of us flying back through pre-rendered terrain instead of the going through new terrain as the server renders it. You'll get to see in a second that it's a lot faster and that we managed to get back to the house very, very quickly indeed. It's quite a pleasure riding at such great speeds. See, it's like no obstructions on the land, so we're just covering that ground so fast, and I'm going to cut it off here before you see too much of the new house. Alright, so now we're just going around getting some leather off these rabbits, or rabbit hide, whatever it's called, which will then craft into leather, which will then craft into a book, which will then craft the sapling, so that we get a Lexicana Botania, introductionary guide to Botania. So, well, I'll skip ahead to that once we have the book, and I'll play that at a very high speed, because I spent something like an hour reading through the tutorial. And I'll just play that back to you guys really fast. Absolutely useless, but just to show you guys that I did read it. I did read it indeed. And trust me, I was very bored by the end of it and don't remember pretty much any of it. So I'll have to reread as I go along, but hey, at least I pre-read it. That will help me later. Alright, so we got the book now, and I'm just gonna speed through this play of us looking at the book. There we go, tutorial just started. You can see a red arrow pointing you around and where to go. It just explains all the basic stuff like how to make fertilizer for the flowers, what flowers do what, how to start generating mana with different flowers, different ways of generating mana. So you can do it like through temporary flowers that die after a few days. Those sort of flowers just generated from the environment. You don't need any fuel or anything. Or you can use flowers that I believe do not die, but they need some sort of fuel to generate the mana. And like, for example, the most basic one the book describes to you is a flower that you can feed things like coal or wood, anything that can burn, and well, anything that would burn in the bottom slot of a furnace, and it will burn that. However, it can only burn a maximum of 4 coal blocks worth of material at a time. If you give it any more material than that to burn, it will only burn as much as was just stated, and the rest of the material will just be used up without giving you any extra mana. So yeah, the Lexicania Botania there displayed for you. It's almost at the end of our reading, I believe. Actually, yeah, we finished the tutorial, I think. I think we're just going back through and revising now, maybe. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and that's it for Botania. Thanks for watching, guys, and next episode should be this time next week.